The story of Luna. In the quaint village of Little Chestnut, nestled among gentle hills and whispering woods, there lived a cat named Luna. With her sleek black fur and deep emerald eyes, Luna was a familiar sight, elegantly roaming the cobblestone streets or basking in the sun atop the old church wall. The villagers adored her, often remarking on her mysterious comings and goings. Yet none knew the secret adventures Luna embarked upon each night. As the village lights dimmed and the stars began their nightly dance, Luna would spring to life with a different kind of energy. Under the cloak of night, she transformed from a lazy, sun-loving cat into the silent guardian of Little Chestnut. Luna's nightly adventures were not of whimsy, but of purpose. Her keen feline senses, quick reflexes, and intimate knowledge of every nook and cranny in the village made her the perfect nocturnal sentinel. Whether it was ensuring the safety of a forgotten candle flame or guiding a lost hedgehog back to the forest, Luna was always there, always watchful. On a night that seemed like any other, Luna's sharp eyes caught a small figure stumbling through the darkness. It was little Timmy, the baker's son, who had wandered too far from home and lost his way. With a graceful leap, Luna landed beside him, her presence comforting. Understanding her silent guidance, Timmy followed Luna through the labyrinth of streets, his tiny hand occasionally brushing against her fur. As they reached his home, Luna watched from the shadows as Timmy was enveloped in his mother's relieved embrace. She then slipped away, as silent and invisible as the night breeze, leaving behind a trail of subtle paw prints on the dewy ground. With the first hint of dawn, Luna returned to her perch atop the church wall, her eyes closing just as the first golden rays of sunlight broke over the horizon. The village awoke to another serene morning, blissfully unaware of the small, feline hero who watched over them each night. As the days passed into weeks, Luna's midnight escapades became the silent rhythm of Little Chestnut. Each night brought a new adventure, a new chance to quietly protect and assist her unknowing human neighbors. One particularly chilly night, with a sharp frost painting delicate patterns on the windows, Luna noticed something amiss at the local mill. Mr. Fletcher, the miller, a kind-hearted man known for his forgetfulness, had left a lantern burning in the window. The flame, dancing dangerously close to a stack of flour sacks, posed a hidden threat. With agile ease, Luna scaled the walls of the mill, slipping in through a tiny gap in the rafters. Inside, she skillfully knocked the lantern onto a metal surface, extinguishing the flame and averting a disaster. As she made her exit, the only sign of her presence was a solitary paw print left in the flour. Another night, Luna came across a wandering elderly dog, its tags glinting in the moonlight. Recognizing the dog as Mrs. Higginbotham's beloved companion, she led the wayward pet back home, meandering through the sleeping village. At the doorstep, she let out a soft meow, alerting Mrs. Higginbotham, who was overjoyed to find her missing friend waiting outside. Luna's deeds were small but significant, weaving a thread of safety and care through the fabric of Little Chestnut. The villagers, unaware of their guardian, continued to live their lives with an inexplicable sense of well-being. As the seasons changed, bringing a cascade of golden leaves and then a blanket of snow, Luna remained the unseen sentinel of the village. Her nocturnal vigil became as much a part of Little Chestnut as the ancient trees and the gently flowing river. However, the time came for Luna's greatest challenge, a night that would test her courage and cunning in ways she had never known before. It began as a whisper of danger, a subtle shift in the wind, signaling a change that was to sweep through the peaceful village of Little Chestnut. The night air was unusually still as Luna began her rounds. The stars seemed to hold their breath, and the moon cast a watchful eye over the village. It was then that Luna sensed it, an undercurrent of something amiss, a disturbance that set her fur on end. As Luna prowled through the village, her ears perked up at the alarming sound of rushing water. Nearing the river, she saw it transformed. What was usually a gentle stream was now swollen, its waters churning vigorously. The heavy rains from the distant hills had filled the river, and it was dangerously close to spilling over its natural banks, threatening to flood the village. Luna realized the urgency of the situation. The houses nearest the river, particularly those of Old Man Whitaker and Widow Parsons, were in the direct path of potential flooding. She raced to Old Man Whitaker's house first, slipping through an open window. With loud meows and persistent pawing, she woke him. Alerted by the river's roar and Luna's insistent behavior, he quickly understood the danger. Then, Luna hurried to Widow Parsons' house, repeating her warning actions. The elderly lady, recognizing the seriousness, immediately called out to alert her neighbors. Roused by Luna's timely alerts, the villagers began to take action. Thanks to Luna's warnings, they hastily placed sandbags along the riverbanks, reinforcing them to prevent the water from breaching. Valuable belongings were moved to higher ground, and the most vulnerable residents were escorted to safer areas. As the night unfolded, the river's water level continued to rise, lapping threateningly against the reinforced banks. In some lower areas of the village, minor flooding occurred, affecting gardens and outbuildings. But the central parts of Little Chestnut, where the homes and businesses lay, remained safe thanks to the villagers' quick response and the protective barrier of sandbags. Luna's foresight and quick actions had helped the village avoid a much larger disaster. As dawn broke, the villagers, tired but grateful, gathered to assess the damage. They spoke in hushed tones of the strange force that had warned them, unaware that their savior was perched quietly on the church wall, her green eyes watching over them. Luna, the silent guardian of Little Chestnut, had once again kept her village safe. Her midnight adventures remained a secret, her acts of heroism known only to herself and the quiet night sky. And so, life in Little Chestnut continued, the villagers none the wiser of the black cat who watched over them with emerald eyes full of wisdom and love. Luna, the unsung hero of Little Chestnut, remained a cherished mystery, a whisper in the heart of the village.